Government drama llama ding dong talking about crazy ass Patel. More specifically, that he is wasting resources because of how he uses the jet and is also hindering other FBI responses. Senator Durbin prompted the Senate Judiciary Committee on Tuesday to accuse FBI director of irresponsible joyriding on the Bureau's jet. Part of this is prompted from the visit to Italy, where he was seen both attending meetings and celebrating with the U.S. national hockey team in the wake of the Olympic gold medal victory. The director's personal leisure activities and travel bucket list should not dictate where travel, nor should it have a material impact on the Bureau's time-sensitive operations and investigations, Durbin wrote. I don't know, speaking as a llama, this seems like potential fraud, waste, and abuse that could have been investigated by the DOGE, but what do I know? Unfortunately, as a credible source described to my staff, the tone was set early during the Director Patel's tenure when he said in a meeting with the field offices last year, "If you have golf, hockey, fishing, or hunting and beautiful sights, you're going to see a lot of me." Durbin said additional whistleblower disclosures indicate the director's decisions related to DOJ or FBI-controlled aircraft have negatively impacted high-profile criminal investigations. In one case, they were unable to be dispatched to a particular event because they had hit flight time hours that triggered FAA rest periods. In the immediate aftermath of this particular event, the FBI shooting reconstruction team were asked to fly to Utah to aid the investigation and process the scene. However, the team's deployment was delayed by at least a day because of a Bureau plane and pilot shortage caused by the director's personal flights. Basically, this caused issues with having the right people there when they needed to be there. The FBI did not respond to a request for comment, but attacked the claims online. Spokesman Ben Williamson noted that this particular incident was initially a state-led investigation. Quote, "There would not be a situation where the FBI delayed or couldn't send resources because of director travel, especially in this case," he wrote on Twitter. The spokesman further added, "It's a ridiculous claim. If the director happens to be out of town, he always offers the plane if needed anyway, and he did so here. It wasn't needed." The spokesman further added, "Cash was in D.C. on 9/10 and in New York the next day for the 9/11 ceremonies, not personal travel. Durbin and whoever he's speaking to are full of it." This obviously isn't the first time he's faced criticism because he's taken it to other things, such as seeing his country singer girlfriend perform. FBI directors are required to use official aircraft for their personal travel for security reasons and are expected to reimburse the government at the cost of an equivalent commercial flight. However, Patel was a top critic of his predecessor, Christopher Wray, and routinely questioned his travel on the jet. The FBI defended Patel's planned trip to Italy, with Williamson saying it was not a personal trip, but instead one planned months ago alongside regional partners because the FBI also has a major role in Olympic security. However, many of us saw that video where he is chugging beers and partying with the hockey players. On February 21st, the spokesman reported the false claim that the director did not go to Italy to hang out at the Olympics on the taxpayer dime. However, by the director's own admission and video accounts on the 22nd, he celebrated with the gold medal-winning U.S. Olympics hockey team after their victory. The director's frequent and unapologetic use of DOJ or FBI-controlled aircraft for personal travel raises concerns about whether he is complying with applicable regulations and reimbursement requirements for non-mission-related travel and whether the department has sufficient internal controls to track and enforce those obligations. The DOGE was not put in place to stop any actual fraud, waste, or abuse, so it's highly unlikely they would have done anything to stop Patel's frivolous spending. A lot of the entities that do provide oversight and look into things such as how different resources are being used were cut and they got rid of staff. In all likelihood, I kind of doubt anything will actually happen to him. They're certainly not going to force him to pay for all the resources that he used. But along with everything else in this particular regime, it is important to keep track of this kind of stuff as it happens.